Baraka is one of those characters that you just simply can choose whichever cameo you want, and this character can still be very strong. I have played many games with Baraka already. My personal favorite cameo to use is Darius. Darius has two specific assists that really make Baraka so much better. So he has the tornado kick, which is just R1, and he also has the volley ballistic, which is forward in R1. So if I just tap R1, you can see Darius will come out and do a 360 spin, and this will actually hit the opponent. And when it does hit the opponent, you can see they go into a little animation. They're spinning around in the air. So this actually gives me enough time to go into a combo or a special move. So if I call in Darius, you can see we are now able to go into that special move. And one of the other assists he has, like I said, is the volley ballistic. So you can see Darius will come out, Baraka will give him a hand, and he goes into a backflip, and then he drops down onto the opponent, giving him that overhead. Now, what's so crazy about this move is whether it hits or not, Darius will go behind the opponent and set up another overhead. So one more time, you can see we get the first overhead and then the second overhead. And if you noticed, this gives us a launcher. So if I go into a combo, right, and then I just cancel the combo into the Darius assist, even on block, they still have to respect that overhead, and he will set up the second overhead. And while he's doing that, you were able to freely move around. So knowing that he has that overhead set up, we as Baraka have the back one, which is a low hitting normal, and we also have the back three, which is a mid into a low hitting normal. So as Darius is setting this up, we can go into the back one for an overhead low, pretty much unblockable. It's a mix-up. If you mistime it, the opponent can block it, but 99% of the time, that is a true unblockable overhead low sequence. And on top of all of that, man, Baraka has his forward three. So realistically, if they start to read that you're constantly doing the back one, you have that forward three overhead. Like, that mix-up is nuts, bro. And if you have 2 bars available for Darius, you can literally just loop this setup. So we get a full combo. We go into the setup. What's the mix? How about we do it again? You see what I mean? So, you see what I'm saying, right? Like, are we on the same page? This same move, the volley ballistic, also has a delay to it. So if I don't let go of it, he will run off the screen. But if I just hold it for a few seconds, he will stand there and wait for me for the command to release it. However, as there should be, there is counterplay to this setup. Now, the best counterplay option to this is to simply just delay wake up. Delay wake up, you just hold L2. Because when you do a delayed wake up, Darius is not able to connect, therefore he cannot stay on the screen. Another counterplay option, after you block the overhead, is to simply just jump. Jump right over Baraka and try to catch him and punish him. However though, even if you have that counterplay to jump, let's say you decide to jump forward, Baraka has such a great anti-air. So if you decide you want to jump towards Baraka and try to punish him, I can wait and bait you with this anti-air. So what you should realistically do after blocking Darius's first overhead is simply just jump backwards. That's it. Now you're free. And of course, every single character in this game has an armored special, so you can just armor through the Darius drop. Now, what people have done to me online because they shit their pants once they know this setup is coming, they simply just mash. But when you mash, you can see what happens. So if I try to mash on Baraka, you can see Darius is still there and he's gonna launch my ass into the air. Now back to the tornado kick, because this is where it really gets interesting. So if I do the 2-1 into Baraka Barrage on block, you can see we get fairly good chip damage, but it's minus 15 on block. So this means if I casually throw that out there, I'm gonna die every single time. However, with Darius, I'm actually able to call him out while I am in the Baraka Barrage. Depending on when Darius actually hits the opponent, the frame data is going to change. Regardless of what the frame data ends up changing to, you will always be plus on block after that Darius tornado kick. So this is one of those rare occasions where cameo assists are really going to make a difference for your fighter. So the counterplay here is to simply just mash on Baraka. Don't let him set up Darius, because if he sets up Darius, he's gonna be plus. But keep in mind, if I try to mash at the wrong time, I will get opened up. But like I mentioned earlier, when that tornado kick hits, you can see Baraka can actually follow up for a combo. So now the mind game there is, do I have to hold this pressure because I'm too scared to get opened up, or do I try to sneak in a button and try to mash on Baraka? But just like before, of course you can armor through it as well. So with all of that knowledge combined, we don't always have to go for that setup. Instead, we can go for more offensive pressure with that tornado kick as well. So if we get a full combo, you can see if we end it in Baraka Barrage, right as Baraka touches the ground, we can call in the Darius tornado kick to give us that offensive pressure. So if you look in the bottom left, we are plus 48 on block. So after getting all that damage as well as the insane corner carry, we now have another option to make sure our offense does not stop. It's very, very strong. But real quick, I just want to show you some of the combos that you can do with Darius as well. So if I go into a BNB combo, I can simply just call in the Darius assist as I'm doing the Baraka Barrage and get a full confirm. So everything that we just went over for Darius, the same exact concept works for Cyrax. Now, what's crazy about Cyrax is he gives Baraka insane chip damage. So if I loop this, you can see Baraka gets crazy amount of damage simply by just chip. Now, just like the Darius assist, there is counterplay because we can see that the Cyrax Copter Chopper is actually a high. So if Baraka goes into it and he calls in Cyrax, I can just neutral duck and grab Baraka. However, though, if Baraka times the cameo assist perfectly, there is no way out of it, man. You are simply jailed. So that's why Cyrax becomes so scary with this character, because now you just simply have to hold all of this offensive pressure. It's very, very strong. So pretty much anytime you hit an opponent, you are more than likely gonna end in Baraka Barrage or Chop Chop. So anytime I go into the amplified Baraka Barrage, I actually can call in Cyrax, and that will give me a continuation to a combo. We all know that Baraka has great corner carry with his basic combos, so if we actually put some sauce to it, Baraka now gets a half-life combo if he has 2 bars a meter. Now, Baraka can get zoned out pretty easily. If you haven't learned by now, Baraka is a rush-down mix-up machine. So he wants to really out-footsie you because he has the back 3 as well as the back 1. And he also has the advancing forward 3 overhead. He can sit back and try to counter zone you because I'm not gonna lie, his counter zoning is actually super effective, and especially when you amplify it, because that actually does damage over time. So you definitely don't want to trade with many of those because over time they will start to add up. So what's gonna come in clutch is having that full screen cyber net to really catch the opponent lacking. And what's crazy about this assist is if Cyrax is on the screen while he tosses it, he actually absorbs the projectile for Baraka. So if you make the right read and time it perfectly, you now get that armor. Now we can take a look at Frost with that knowledge as well, because the same situation goes hand in hand. So Frost has her ice carpet. This will actually absorb projectiles as well from full screen. So if the opponent is zoning me out, they now have to deal with the ice carpet from Frost. This is a full screen low hitting assist. So no matter where you are on the screen, it'll track to you. So if Reptile is trying to zone me out, we now take that hit of armor and we can go into a full combo. Frost also has the orb setup. So if you're in the corner, this becomes so scary because if the orb hits the opponent, as you just saw, they become frozen. So knowing that Baraka has so many mix-up options, the opponent now has to guess as the orb is falling towards them. So now if I set this up in the corner and I walk in and I hit them with back 1, they become frozen. I'm able to go into a full combo and now we can get crazy damage. So 42% because they guessed wrong. And outside of the back 1, man, you also have the forward 3. So the choice is yours. It is a true 50-50. And what's so crazy is on top of both of that mix, you can just go for a back grab into a full combo. However, though, when you do a back grab, the damage scales very hard. So that only did 23%. So off of the orb, you have 3 different options to choose from. And the last assist for Frost is she actually has the ice wall. The ice wall is +4 on block. So if I'm staggering the opponent, I now have another option to maintain offensive pressure. Darius, Cyrax, and Frost, in my opinion, are the top 3 cameos for Baraka. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. Let me know if you are maining Baraka in Mortal Kombat 1 because I definitely am. I'll catch you guys in the next one, bro. Peace.